most famous physical therapist on the internet.
Hi, folks. I'm Bob Shaw, physical therapist.
Brad Heineck, physical therapist.
Because we're the most famous physical therapists on the internet.
In our opinion, of course, Bob.
Our humble opinion.
Humble.
Yeah, everybody says we're humble.
Yeah.
That's
Humble Bumble. Reminds me of bubblegum.
All right. Today we're going to talk about how do I exercise an injured knee. This is a big problem because after you injure your knee, you want to exercise in order to make it better, but it hurts to exercise.
Right.
So it's a dilemma.
Right. You don't want to irritate it and set it back either.
Right. Which you can do by doing the wrong exercise. So we're going to give you some hints on what you may try. By the way, if you're new to our channel, please take a second to subscribe to us. We provide videos on stay healthy, fit, pain-free. We upload every day. Also, you want to join us on our social media channels and on our website, bobandbrad.com, because we're always giving something away. Now, it's Saturday night, which means tomorrow we'll be starting a new giveaway.
Sure.
So you want to check on that tomorrow. Go to bobandbrad.com, go to the giveaway section. And what were we giving away, Brad?
The mattress?
Yeah, we're giving away a mattress. This is cool, and this is a fantastic mattress.
Right. It's
Big
about $1,000 worth.
Yeah, and very comfortable. I mean, if you're having trouble with pain, that's the baby you want to get.
Yep, there's no doubt about it. So with the knee injury, Bob, we're talking about at the point where to walk on it is not comfortable. Is that?
Yeah, or we're also assuming that there's no fracture, there's no dislocation, there's no infection. You know, you just kind of injured your knee, and we want to start getting it moving again.
Right.
So the first thing we want to do is start to get some range of motion.
Sure. So
in a seated position, and you might, in order to lift your leg up a little bit so it doesn't hit the floor, you may get a rolled towel and put it underneath like this.
Right.
And you can just start working on range of motion. Now, if this even, you know, we're just working on flexion and extension. It's a great thing to do throughout the day even.
Sure.
Just starting to get some motion in there, some of that synovial fluid.
Right.
That's kind of the grease of the knee.
Right.
You want to get that moving. But if this even hurts, at that point, you may actually have to put a weight on it.
Here,
Brad's going to put this weight on me. I'm going to feel like I'm at a shoe store and he's putting shoes on me, or shoe shiner.
Do they do that anymore?
I don't think they do. So what you can do is this probably will work here, Brad.
Sure.
So you're going to let this, and this is going to give a little traction to the knee.
Yeah, so it helps distract the joint just a little bit and be completely relaxed. And just think of this as like a pendulum.
Yep.
And
I'm just gonna let it go back and forth like this, kind of just letting the momentum carry it forward.
Right.
Not even having to use the muscles at all.
Right.
And you can get a weight like this online or at pretty much any big box store. They have weights like this, ankle weights. Basically.
I've had people put their winter boot on if they got a good heavy winter boot. That can be a couple pounds sometimes.
Good way to start. And see how it feels. But you actually could put on a fair amount of weight on there. You could put a 10-pounder on there even to start off, because you're not doing strengthening. You're just using the distraction.
It should feel good, or after a few repetitions of going back. If it's a little painful, it should clearly improve after repetition. If it's just making it worse, then you need to stop.
What's nice about the weight, then eventually when the knee starts feeling better, you can start using it to do some strengthening. You can use it to do some quad strengthening like this. But having said that, if that feels fine, to start some strengthening, you probably want to do isometric. Isometric means we're strengthening the knee without moving it.
Right.
So Brad's going to demonstrate how you can strengthen, the quadricep, hamstring, hip, I'd say probably the hip abductors, but they cross the knee. I'm trying to not make it sound like it's a hip issue.
We're not only going to strengthen the knee, but in order to do that, you're just going to be some crossover to the hip, which is good because the hip muscles stabilize the knee.
Some of the muscles that start in the hip actually go all the way across.
Right.
So okay, Brad, take it away.
Here we go. So this knee is the injured knee. I'm going to have the other one up like this for support. Okay. And we're simply going to keep the knee straight, and then my quads are going to tighten up, and I'm going to lift the leg up whatever you can. You could go up to here. That's probably more than you need. I go up to about a 45 or so, and then just keep that knee nice and straight. Work on those quads right now. And if you do 10 or 15 of these slow with good motion like I'm demonstrating, you're going to feel those quads working. I already feel mine working now. And then after you do 10 of those. Go ahead, Bob. Or
Oh, I was just going to say, like I've had young girls who a lot of times get patellofemoral syndrome.
sure,
I've had, I'll tell them to do thousands of these.
thousands.
Yeah, I mean, just exaggerating.
Yeah.
but
But you can do a lot.
you
yeah.
really can't do too many.
Sure,
And
right.
it's just a great way to strengthen without putting stress on the knee.
Exactly. And then you turn to your side. Gonna keep the leg straight. Don't have your toe pointed up like this. Keep it like this, and simply up and down like they get. Let's again. Good
Again,
controlled motion.
We got the IT band that crosses the knee here, and that
Right.
starts all the way up on the hip. And so you're strengthening the hip and strengthening the knee at the same time.
Right.
And quite often what we find after you injure your knee, very quickly, because you're favoring that whole side, the hip also becomes weak.
Right.
And so you need to keep that strong too.
And then prone. I'm going to switch to this leg just so you can see better. I know I started with the right hip. We're going to say it's the left hip now, so it's more visible. And knee is straight and up like this. So you're getting some hamstring, and of course you're getting a lot of glute, which is fine. Just like Bob mentioned, you still want to make sure you're working the hip along with it. 10 repetitions, good and slow. If you need to, you can leave it rest, if it's sore or tired. But work it. Otherwise, just work it up and down in nice smooth motion.
If you don't do these, they're harder than you think.
Yeah. Yeah.
They look easy, but they aren't. So here he's going to get the inner thigh, which can also strengthen across the knee.
Right. So all those adductor muscles, the groin muscles. And I like to take this knee and get it up out of the way like this. You can have a pillow if you'd like, and up like this. This one in particular, you'll be amazed. At least I am. Because it's an exercise you don't do very often.
You normally don't do it right.
Yeah. And work 10 of those. Okay, so that gets all 4 directions.
Now, if you want to start getting some movement in the knee, you want to generally with the knee, especially if you have a meniscus problem or the cartilage,
Mm-hmm.
you can bend the knee, but only so far before it starts to compress on that cartilage. So what we can do is you can do wall squats with a ball. And I'll show you another variation of something you can do, but we can start with that ball on the wall, and you can do shallow squats here. Yep, you just start off just real shallow. You're starting to get some strengthening isotonically,
Right.
and but you're not putting a lot of stress on the joint.
We're not going down here.
You can actually probably go even further than that. You can probably. Yep.
It's nice to have something to hold on to, especially on the sore knee side. It gives you some confidence. Actually, you have a little bit, just in case it hurts. What were you going to say?
Oh, you can go a little bit further, but the reason this is nice, the ball on the wall, because it makes it very easy to stop your knee from going past the front of the foot.
Right here,
So I'm dropping a plumb line there. That puts a lot of stress on the knee, even on a good knee. So if you have a bad knee,
so you simply just step out with a ball on the wall, and then it's easy to.
Yeah, and have good grip tennis shoes on so you don't slide forward. But that you can do shallow squats with the knee not going forward. You want to make sure the knee is not going in or out. You keep it straight up and down.
Right.
Also to not put undue forces on your knee. Now the one that's surprisingly, my wife has bad cartilage in her knee, and surprisingly, she didn't like that one. I don't know if it just was hitting a part of the knee.
Sure.
But she likes kettlebell swings, which just is shocking to me. She just loves these, and she does a lot of them. I'm starting off with a very small weight here, but you're getting some knee bend, and she goes fairly shallow.
Yep.
And then you thrust your hips and pull up like this. So you're getting the butt, hamstring, especially surprisingly, this rate's very high for hamstring strengthening.
Yep.
So, and obviously you're getting some quad too, because you're extending. So she rips off like 20 of these at a time.
Okay.
I'm not lifting my arm. I'm using my pelvis to throw it up.
Right. So it's not an arm exercise at all. It's hip and leg.
Yep. And you want to keep very good posture. Keep your back very straight, head up.
Right here. This is key right there. Don't let that round forward.
Now, you don't need to go way forward like they teach you. That's one.
That's a little controversial.
Yeah,
we don't like
hinge
that.
Way down. I just think this is a good functional position. You don't need to go way down as far as what they recommend. And you certainly don't want to bend your back like this. Again, you want to keep nice and straight.
Right.
So
that good athletic posture.
Athletic posture, yeah. So those are some suggestions. I think that you want to keep in mind, always keep it pain-free.
Right.
And just
Yep.
use that as your guide.
Yep.
You're going to be fine. So,
Bob, once again, this leads us into the next big challenge that we're working on.
we can fix just about anything
except for
a broken heart.
there you go.
But by gosh, we are working on
Maybe
it.
these kettlebell swings will help.
Well, it's all cardio too.
Well,
so
yeah,
it doesn't hurt.
it's all connected.
Yeah. Thanks for watching.